I am Silvio, and this is part 11 of my 2025 Christmas Village full tutorial series. I sincerely believe that by the end of this part 11, I will be able to show you all the buildings that will compose my main street. I still have a few days before going online, and I have a last story and the roof for the last building to model. Then it will be enough with 3D modeling, only the buildings, figurines, and props maybe will take a little longer. So with the final recap that will follow the next minutes, the next hours, the next days, you will see the main street complete. Not painted, not painted. So for the rest, I need to concentrate on the last big task to start. I need to get from the Lucy's Chocolate level, where I will have the bridge that now I've removed, up to where it is the train right now, in order to add the last part of the layout concerning the station, the platform, some other buildings. I don't know if I will be able to add this season a North Pole section. I will try. Anyway, I will try. So the very tricky part will be trying to find a way to add a road that goes around and get people by walk or by cart or by carriages up to the train level, because the rest of the track layout will not allow me to place some other things for now, but I still have 2 more months to go on. And obviously a part will be put there and stable, but I cannot condemn everything because I will need to work on what it is on that level right now, and obviously I will have to work from the back because it is too far from this side here, from the front side. So I will need to develop something that can be removed, a removable last level, or maybe not last, but surely removable to place there. And last season I haven't used my rock paper, but I think I will need to get into action with some rock paper for completing that task there. But the first part, the first, let's say 30 centimeters will be placed there and no more moved. Then I will add some other things. What else, guys? Right now it is too early in the week, I don't know. So let's get to work on the back there. Yes, let's go. Come with me.
Now guys, let me talk about two useful tools related to Christmas villaging. Once you have finished or completed your Christmas village, sooner or later you may feel the urge to film it. Maybe because you want to share it, to share your creation with your family, with your siblings, with the people you know. Or maybe you have a Christmas village channel and you want to film your village. Very good, you can do it. So normally you take your smartphone, you take your digital camera, and you start filming from a certain distance. Perfect. There is plenty of people doing that. But what if you need to go close to the Christmas village? What if you need to go inside your Christmas village? Obviously, you can use a stabilizer with a stick and getting around, etc. But believe me, because I've used it since many years, I've used it for many years, sorry, it is very complicated and the images may be very unstable. You can use a mini drone controlled by your phone, by a phone app, sorry. But just remember that the propellers of the drone, the mini drone that have generally a mini or small or micro camera, will make a tornado if you use some artificial snow in your Christmas villages. And it may crash on top of it. You can use what I generally use, camera slider on some rail. You have seen me build it in many versions, 2 versions or 3 versions, I don't remember right now. And the actual one is very useful and it can go very close to the layout. But it is very heavy and it is also very complicated to set up each year the correct position. Blah 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 blah. So why I am talking? Because recently, 5-6 months ago, I came across to a fantastic product. You will see the brand, but I will not citate the brand because this is not sponsored. None of my videos are sponsored. That the little thing you will see, it is called a mini camera dolly. What is a dolly? Dollies are motorized camera slider. Here is the beast I want to talk to you about. The brand, I will hide the brand. Obviously, this is a Chinese version. The only version. What is interesting about this camera slider, this mini dolly camera slider, or simply mini camera dolly, that it has a small dimension, okay, that it has a very small dimension compared to other camera slider. Let me take my ruler. I forgot where I placed it. It is right here. So the length, it is no more than 11 centimeters. This camera slider has no wires. It is a little heavy. It has inside an electric motor and a rechargeable battery. It is the same battery, you have a single cell inside, the same battery used in laptop computers batteries, not the ones that are last generation, the ones that are batteries that are very flat and that use some new technology, but the ones were used up until 2 years ago, okay? But very effective battery. So you simply need to take a USB wire. In this case it is a Type-C wire, Type-C cable, and you can recharge the battery. You can see that it has 3 wheels, but how can it turn around like that? The lateral wheels can be extracted, and you can see that there is some marking there in order to get the inclination you want or maybe the inclination you need to slide. Those two are free wheels. The one connected to the electric motor is the single one, this one in here. Okay, guys? So each wheel have a rubber ring that will make it slow roll or slide very smoothly, and it makes friction with whatever ground you have, and allowing it to slide very, very, very smoothly. Okay, this is an advantage of this beast. If you want to make it slide in a straight line, you simply align the wheel with these lines here, the horizontal lines. Otherwise, you can go different ways, and you can see that with one you can go around like that, or a very straight curve, or even angle even more narrow. In this case, no, because it is not balanced, it will not roll, but a minimum it has to get around. So once you have found the correct one, it will slide around in a close range, or it can go enlarging the two external wheels in a very long and arched ones. And also you can go the other way, making not the wheels turn, but making the camera turns around things. If you put the wheels outside like that, on another way like that, it is the camera that will turn around. Okay, the camera will be fixed here, the wheels are steady, they are on the same spot, and the camera turn around. With the wheels in the opposite direction, it is the wheels that turns around, and the camera tends to be posted in the same exact spot. But this is a simple mechanical rules. Yes. it can roll. But how can you attach digital cameras, a smartphone, or whatever else? This little beast, as I continue to call, comes with an universal connector with a 3/8 of an inch like that goes inside, and that can be fixed like that. Okay, so 3/8 of an inch and 1/4 of an inch. Okay, sorry guys, I will not citate this in centimeters, but because even in Europe, connectors for connecting the cameras and other shooting devices are in inches. And the other way, if you have a camera that has a 3/8 of an inch hole connector, you will screw down the 1/4 of an inch there. And you can attach your cameras, etc. Or if you want, if you need, the simple camera everyone has nowadays, because they are very powerful, are phones camera. You simply need to get one of those things there that can be attached to the, oops, it is the wrong way. It can be attached like that, simply. Sorry for the noise, something went on the floor. And then you can attach it there, fix it, orientate the camera in this way, because this will slide like this, not like this, but only forward, backward, or turn around. Okay, it cannot slide like that. You simply need to fix, and then this will slide. Opened, it gets a length of 18, but the width is still 11 point something, less than 12 centimeter. Very narrow camera slider, guys. Very narrow camera slider, and I will let you see how it works in some minutes. Other useful tool that can be coupled to this, if you don't want to use this, as normally standard phones are larger than the dolly slider itself. This is 16 centimeters. Okay, so 5 more centimeters wide, and if you have a small space, it will get to hit against some building, against something else. Okay, instead, if you don't want to use it, I came across a fantastic brand of actions cameras, guys. Never seen before. And you know, if you have seen the first 2 seasons of this channel, on this channel, that in past I've used massively action cameras. But this little beast here, this is the big beast, this is the little beast, that you can see the brand, but I will not citate it. It is a Navy camera, guys. And this means that it is already a synonym of goodness, okay? It has inside six ways of stabilizing the movement, 6 gyroscopic motor that counterbalance the movements and the movement to get a steady shot. This will be very smooth, but coupled with this camera, that is an action camera, but it can film smoothly at 4K, guys. It can shot at 4K. I defy you. I will do anything if you try to find a good action camera. This is only 6 centimeters that can film smooth at 4K. This one is native 4K. If you want, you can film at full HD, but it is native there with a very giant, objective. You can film narrow, you can film wide angle, you can film whatever you want. Obviously, it is useful in plain daylight, but I've tested it many times, but you haven't seen any footage about it, with my inside door, my Christmas village. It came with a battery, two batteries and a charger. The package had a charger also, so two battery and a charger. And the package also had the micro SD card that you need to use with it, and it is a good SD card. Okay. What else, guys? Nothing. Okay, it has a Wi-Fi, it can connect to your phone app through QR code. It's magical, this one, and a big screen. Okay, guys, let me switch it on. Okay, and the screen is so wide, almost all the back it is a screen, and you can go and connect to it with your smartphone. Okay, and it has integrated, as I said, Wi-Fi, and real Wi-Fi. Okay, not Bluetooth, real Wi-Fi connection, and obviously you can use it connected. If you don't want to use it because it is a little too to the external, you can change the position and you can add an adapter to it, because the only thing that I don't like it is where they positioned the connector, the screw, the female screw to connect it, but it was the only space, as you need to have the slot for the battery. Okay, but with some adapter you can slide it like that. Okay, in plane towards the middle, and I can show you some adapters if you want. And this, so with the adapter, can go like that in plain middle. Okay, no problem at all. Even this can go in plain middle with an adapter, but it is always larger than the camera slider, than the camera dolly. And I will switch off the camera because I will not shoot anything, and I will let you see how it works. Right now I will make some space, and obviously it is controlled by its proper phone app. Right after opening the app, the app is searching for the device that is paired to it. You simply need to switch on, and you have a green LED there. It has already found the L5. This is called the L5. Now, paired. Okay, this little complex here has two modes. I hope not having switched anything off. No, it has a video mode and a time-lapse mode. Okay, time-lapse obviously is for shooting, then advancing, then shooting, then advancing. But the most useful, it is the video mode. Okay, you can see that it can even go up the phone if you want. Let me stop it. So first thing to do is to see that it has a power indicator. It is fully charged now. And the speed control with 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and maybe more speed from minimum to maximum. And the maximum speed, guys, is very fast compared to what I knew before this camera slider. Okay, let me get to you. Let me take it to the, maybe if I check if I'm going straight it is better. I simply need to orientate the two wheels. Okay, you simply need to place your slider. Let me go to the border, extreme border of the camera there. Okay, like that. And then get to A/B positioning setting. And then I will turn the motor on towards forward. Turn on. Oops, it is it is the other way, guys. Sorry. Stop, pause. Okay, sorry. The forward is the opposite way, so it is like this. Okay, it is like this, and in this case the camera is much more centered and it doesn't need any adapter. So let me redo it. Turn forward the motor and the camera gets going up. Now it is not going on a straight line. Okay, so I will reorientate the wheels and let me check once again if it goes straight. Yes, it goes straight, almost straight. Like this. Sorry guys, it is a little tricky to set up the first time, but then it will make no problem at all filming with it. I'm placing it against a straight line to see if it gets on a straight line. Okay, pause. So this time I will go seriously. So now let's test the automation. It will slide A, B, A, B. But if you want, you can also stop it. Okay, now let's test it. Okay, let's test it. It will go A, B, A, B. So let's go maximum speed, and it has started rolling, and at a certain point it will get up, and now it can goes backward, and it will comes backward, and forward. Okay, I can stop it, get a little slower, and now you can see that it is sliding slower than before, but it is a very good speed, guys, a very good speed, even if it is a slower speed. I will stop it, I will put it at minimum, and I will go down, up. So this is really the minimum speed that is to use with the time-lapse mode. But even there I can get it quicker and accelerate. It has a minimum of trembling when it tried to reach the correct speed. So it is best if you leave it to the speed you want once and forever, okay? I will make it stop. So let me do something dangerous. Let me do this. And I will let you see what it will be doing. It is doing like that and getting around with the camera. It has done the A, now it goes back and do the B. If you need to redo the settings, you can redo the settings. Stop. Let me do the opposite, but maybe I will need a larger table with the wheels on the opposite way. It is like that. So the camera is always on the same spot and the wheel is turning around. Maybe it is too speed, too quick, let me do like that, okay? So it has multiple functionality. This is genius, guys. This is genius. And you can go so deep and so close to the ground with such a camera, guys, that is fantastic. Okay? Stop it. Obviously, I simply need to do this, and with a Navier shooting device, it will do the exact same thing, guys. Okay, it can support up to 1 kilogram of weight. And those rubber make such a grip that it is very powerful. Okay, stop, enough. Why not? I will take this into some action to let you see why I will use this in some weeks when my village will be completed. Okay? See you in some seconds. See me in some seconds. Final recap of part 11 of the 2025 season, and I am starting from the 50% complete last level there, guys. Okay, you have seen me for the first time this season working with the rock paper, and I added the second bridge there, and you can see the road that is climbing there, the white road that is climbing right now. It is white, then it will change. That gets around before climbing the last part there and getting behind everything around. I used two different techniques for the rock paper. Here the rock paper is simply applied on the styrofoam, and probably I will modify that. And all along the straight part there, behind the front paper, the front rock paper, I added some more crushed pieces or sheets or larger sheets of rock paper that I have still here, some other pieces that are remaining, but that contributed to have a not perfectly flat rock paper, but having some going forward and backward. Then the last part of the road comes up from the side, from the opposite side there, getting up to the last level. That will be the white long panel. It is more than 1 meter. It is 1 meter and 40 centimeters, so almost 1 meter and a half. That will complete all the buildings that will be necessary to add some life around the railroad and the train. 50% complete because it is removable. As you have seen, I haven't fixed anything right now. That's the reason why the panel, the styrofoam panel, is right now bent towards the frontward, getting lower in the front and a little higher in the back there, because I haven't fixed the vertical supports, because I will have to work on everything on this part here, then the road, adding some cobblestones, adding some carriages, adding some life walking, and I also have a space for adding some small buildings between them. The second bridge will be there, and I was thinking maybe I will add the two different colors for the two bridges, okay? Not the two buildings, the two bridges, okay? But I can always change my mind. I will experiment with that. So first time I try to go on a curve that is not flat. Normally I always went straight, then getting a little straight at the same height around the corner, then once again climbing up. This time I made the straight road, and then it continues climbing and not gets flat. So it is a real road, a real way of making roads, and you can see from that angle there. I'm a little far from that, but even this road here has the same pattern. I will complete the empty space there with maybe some more rocks or something else. So I will have 1 meter and 40 centimeters by 40 centimeters in depth to add at least dozens of buildings, and I will fit there in that space the dozen of buildings. Maybe I will not be able to add North Pole section this season, but right now I am not that convinced. Maybe I will find a way to add a North Pole section even this season. I don't know where. You have seen You have seen the tiny camera, the action camera, moving, even if for some seconds, forward and backward all along Main Street. I think that Main Street is complete now. I move this building here, 0608, sorry, that was originally in this position here. There, the two biggest buildings will help me complete the background as a sort of background, and they will fit there. I added here this house here. That is a simple house that I had just finished modeling and 3D printing in last part 10. Then some more new buildings here. I needed another corner building, and this one, it is Victorian as always, but with a giant corner shop there and some movement. And for the first time in my 2025 Christmas Village, I added also some window shutters. They weren't that frequent in Victorian time, maybe in the early years of Victorian type. They come in vogue by the end of Victorian time. Previously, just curtains to block the light in the rooms, etc., like every other building. But I wanted to start with this one, adding some window shutters. Old style window shutters. It will be clear once painted. The rest of the buildings here doesn't have any shutters, just some one of the new one. A mini set here. This is another Victorian style building, a shop, two story shop with the first and the second. This is pure Victorian here on top, etc. Large bay window there, and entry door that will be completely almost transparent, and no chimney in this case, because it isn't like it will be so someone will live inside that building. Different type of building here in the second or third street. This is very tiny, but it is pure Victorian. Even this one, I'm still missing the doors, etc. Entry door with ground level bay window, and then a first story. And in this case, in the backyard, a mini storage, etc. But this is a contour street. It will not be the main focus, the main event of the street. But I needed, sorry, Miss Genevieve, I needed houses even there along that street, as this one. Once again, I've tried to use almost the same pattern for the first buildings I modeled. This one is also huge. The three hugest buildings are this one and those two that you see there. This may be a little too exaggerated. Maybe I 3D printed it out of scale, but it will help me getting the end of the point of view. But this design here was pure Victorian, with buildings in between Middle Ages and 800 century, etc. But another shop on the ground level, and then a first and the second story under the roof. But once again, this is Victorian style, and from the back door and some more windows. But this is Victorian. Oops, I crushed everything. Don't worry, it is reassemblable. I haven't destroyed anything. I simply forgot to add some more tape to get it connected. Anyway, let me place it there, and I will not touch it. Mr. Genevieve, you are in a very dangerous spot, okay? Just believe me, you are in a very dangerous spot. Third, maybe fourth, magical building, maybe from the side you will recognize what it is about. I'm missing the chimney there as this one too, but I will add the chimney lately. I just wanted to have everything finished, all the buildings there, and these two is a new magical building, and maybe the logo there will be helpful for someone who knows this saga to identify this building. But once again, big bay window because I will have something inside, etc. I tried to make the pub there more visible from the street, so I thought, why not having the smallest one, the shortest one, the narrower one of the buildings positioned there against the the stairs. That is not that bad because buildings against stairs, stairways were used at that time, and especially because it is all walled with just a little window there, perfect to get there. But in this case I will add some cobblestones, not 3D printed but normal cobblestones, and while passing through the pub is visible, at least the more interesting part of the pub will be visible, as also the backyard of those buildings. I will add some sort of street going there, then turning, then going somewhere else in the middle where I have the train cars right now because I risked to damage them. So here are all the buildings. Okay, this one too I should have put some some mask tape, but it is another Victorian, pure Victorian building, that it is like that. Okay guys, bayed window has all my pure style Victorian building, pure simple, 3-story, one open, completely open window because I have no frames here in the window, and nothing from the side, and some small windows from the back. I know you haven't seen me doing much in this part 11, but apart that, because I wanted to 3D model the maximum possible of things right now, but as always I tried to go the simple way possible, try to speed model everything. I knew that those buildings will be not accessible from the side, so plain brick walls from the side, a standard roof, then another building of those a little towards the end of Victorian time, with no more bay window but some store, like I don't know, New York, Boston in early 1900, still Victorian time, east coast of the US, etc. But entry of the store and some other levels there. This one too got me less than, I think, 3 hours to model. Simple way of modeling everything very quickly. Those buildings you already have seen it, and okay, this one I particularly love this one because of the design, but I have placed it there instead of in front. But these The second one with the shutters, with the window shutters there like that. A strange entry because it is like what can I call it? A store, a coffee shop, even if they weren't there, maybe a tavern, something like that, maybe a spirit store, okay, wine and spirit store, with arcade windows there with shutters, and then those shutters are a little rounded because the windows are rounded, and then some standard wood shutters instead. Here a pipe, there. This is classical Victorian on the roof, chimneys there, and this one obviously it has been 3D printed, cutted in 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces, because obviously those two shutters needed something, some supports from the front, otherwise impossible to 3D print them. But having some shutters, having some shutters half opened, half closed, and that they cannot move, gives more reality, more realism, more life to a building like this one. And from the back, the same thing, except that all is flat and no exit from the back. And I still have to try to figure out what to place here in the back. Some will have some life, this one no, because it has no exit, etc., and so on. For that part there, the last two buildings I modeled during this week, this one also I took what I started modeling with that house there, modified a little, enlarged, once again an open and almost not open door. Here I had some problems with the 3D printing that misprinted the two vertical supports there for the shop windows, but I used some skewers that will be disappearing once primed and painted. Nothing from the back, nothing, absolutely nothing from the side and from the back, just a little window there, like a restroom there, simple shutter, wooden shutter, and here an entry for the shop that is in the middle, then rather external. Maybe, I don't know, a pastry shop, a bakery, even if I have the bakery, but I don't know right now. And then the last building I've modeled and placed it there, guys. Oops, sorry guys, working with just one hand, but this one, I love it. Pardon me, it's not that good to encourage myself, but I love this one. A strange entry there. Consider this as hotel and restaurant there. I know early in Victorian time there wasn't so many restaurants. There was some kitchen, there was some tavern, etc. But I wanted to put there hotel and a restaurant there. And it is the most elegant of the new buildings I modeled. Also this one is very elegant, this one. The one with the arcade base you have seen. But this one, even from the back, guys, it is absolutely the most elegant one I have modeled. And this is something that I added sometimes almost, but sometimes not. At that time, roofs were, yes, inclined, but also many roofs were flat, like the ones I modeled there, always flat for the industrial section. This one is there. This will be my hotel. I never had an hotel in my Christmas villages, even if this is ground level, first level, second level, and then some fourth level there. Tall one, not that tall, but it is elegant, as always, intended to be used with this configuration here, no windows from the sides or the other side. And in this case I decided to go along the wall like that, instead of having the buildings making the curve. I was thinking maybe I will leave this spot free, but if you want that I add some other buildings here on the last part of the internal curve, I will add another one. I don't know if I need another one continuing there and continuing. For me right now, this is the ideal configuration. I've slided here and there some buildings in order to get everything in the right spot for everything. And you have seen from the action camera that all the buildings will be visible from both sides. First time I'm trying this, a complete street with buildings usable, etc., and a huge main street, etc. But guys, allow me a question. Would it be possible with just Limax building or Department 56 buildings, with all those bases and not one similar to another? This is a complete wanted configuration, and not, yes, I know that those may be considered terraced houses, but as they don't have the same depth, they aren't terraced, they are just one beside the other, because the intent of terraced buildings is to have the exact same building one against the other in just long streets, the same building repeated 20, 30, 40 times. Here the street is completely full of buildings, but there are some similarities between buildings, but not that much. Also, this building is not that bad, that corner building. And guys, Lemax and Department 56, they don't do many corner buildings, but corner building are so useful, not just in my configuration, but in every kind of configurations. Corner buildings, I had in mind other two corner buildings modeled not following this architecture here, this geometry here, that it is a simple L-shaped geometry, but this configuration here, not perfectly. I take this, I rotate it, and I join them together, having this part equally this one, only the corner will join them together. This is different, guys. This is different. You have two bay window there, an entry, then a door that goes maybe in some apartments there, etc. So those corner buildings are much more interesting and gives you much more possibilities. I forgot one thing, sorry guys, but when I started this part 11 I hadn't a minimum of cold. Right now I have a cold, strangely, because normally I get it when I go to Peraga shop, but it is almost 3 weeks in the future, but this season I already got it. But let's talk about something else. So I will leave those two big houses there, and I will go on from here. I know I have also here I'm missing something. I will have many hours of of painting, but I will do that. Missing the street lamps, missing some signposts, missing plenty of things, but I have 1 week and 2 months. For me, it is mandatory this season to finish by November. I am right now last few days of September. So I think that in 2 months, with 2 months of work, I will be able to finish this. I will use some figurines 3D printed, modeled by me, but also some of my collection that I haven't ever used, because they ask for me to vintage. It's part of the collection owned by my mother that got to me from 2019. Maybe I will use them. They are very vintage, in a way, and I will explain once I will use them. I will go like that. All the spaces will be occupied. Maybe I will have another elevation there, some curve there, but the rock paper, I know many of you are jealous of the rock paper, but guys, rock paper is rock. Is rocking. Imagine having to model all with with plaster, etc. Here, too straight, too flat. I will change that, and by next time I will remove the last part because I need to work on something there. But the the big parts, the big tasks are now all started. I don't have any more big task to start. They are all started. No more gigantic task to start, except modeling some figurines, some strange figurines you will see. I can't help me adding some madness, not the kind you have seen last season, but I will add some madness, some unexpected figurines, let's say unexpected figurines. But I will do like that. Up to you to judge the main street with all the buildings complete right now. If you want, we can check how many I have modeled. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 29 buildings just for the main street. Completely new. Okay. Those ones may remember something you have already seen. I know that one, this one, then this one, and finally this one too may remember something you have already seen. Obviously, it's like that, but the rest, I don't think you have seen that. And one more thing, balconies, not, but maybe yes, but not like that one. My big mistake, it is those two buildings are my biggest mistake for this season. This because it can be attached to another due to the fact that I don't have the same width for all the stories, and this one because the ground floor it is Victorian but the rest not. This is more too advanced, maybe 1940, 1950. Balcony, yes, but none of those buildings have balconies. That one, yes, but it was like that originally, but the rest, the normal buildings, don't have balconies because they weren't used at that time. Maybe after 1900 in New York, Boston, etc. some but real not too tall buildings hadn't a balcony during Victorian time. And yes, I also have the Zert bridge, guys, that is right now here, still with the support. I will not use the Zert bridge, only 2 bridges there. Waste of waste, yes, maybe waste, but who knows. I'm still missing something to get the final step there. Maybe that bridge will be useful to connect this part here to the part that goes towards the industrial commercial side. Only Lemax or Department 56 buildings up there, only the same thing there. Here I will have a point where I will end my buildings and have Lemax buildings. There, no Lemax buildings at all. Maybe some street carts, maybe like that, but no Lemax buildings. The Lemax buildings will be there. For the first time, I will have more of my buildings than Lemax buildings or Department 56 buildings. And that's not the case because I have a huge collection of Lemax buildings. But in this case, I will not have. But tradition is tradition. Tradition is... Okay, I forgot. The tower, I forgot the Geneviève Tower there. Let's consider that 3 buildings, 4 buildings, okay. So 29 plus 4, it is 33 buildings for the main street and around the main street. See you for the outro. No, see me for the outro. I always forgetting that I'm not seeing you. You are seeing me.
Pardon? Une tarte à thym, ici, en cette période. Elle vient juste d'être inventée, par erreur en plus. Comment vous prétendez avoir une tarte à thym ici en ce moment? She asked me for a tarte à thym. It has just been invented in France by pure error, and now she's asking. I know it is very good. How could you have tasted it? It has just been invented. Or in the next two years. Sometimes she requests me something exaggerated, okay? Une tarte à thym, vraiment. Ooh la 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 la. By the way, guys, this is the main street. 30 and more buildings there. Up to you to judge. Please forgive my cold, but it's better now than when I will go to Peraga shop. And it is not that ravaging, it is a minimum cold. I can sing like this with this voice. Sorry guys, I'm out of my mind, but this is a cool voice to sing. But I can't sing, not even on stage. My bad. And the rock paper, as I already told you, always rock, and it has to be adjusted. I have to make some adjustments, but it is a starting point. And the road goes up, goes there, etc. Very difficult to work back there, so
the removable part, I simply worked on another table too high, at an too high level to work there. But once you have seen me doing what I needed to do on the first 30 centimeters, it is the same thing to work on the top level there. And some more spaces for Lemax buildings in case that Lemax not hated me that much, but now if I made a statement that I will add more Lemax buildings, maybe it will ask Hitman to come back and not get my head. Okay, so then those buildings, up to you to judge the buildings. It is a lot of buildings new from last week, and that's the reason why I haven't painted anything. I just focused on 3D modeling and 3D printing the buildings. 3D printing is not done by me, by the 3D printers, so no problem. 3D modeling and always speed modeling. So by the end I found a place, a solution even for those two, let's call them semi-hideous buildings there. They will help me getting the final shooting done. And then these little guys coupled with this one. You have seen just 30 seconds of the footage filmed with this one, but guys, I don't think I could ask more from an action camera, especially because the ground, the cobblestones aren't flat right now. I haven't leveled anything right now. I still have some difference in height between the junctions. Okay, I haven't not applied anything to fix them, and is smoothed along. No problem going forward and backward. Once again, up to you to judge the quality of that 30 seconds of footage. For the rest, I think I will improve something more. And what else? Oui? No, pas de tartatin. Oupla. Then, yeah, I made a statement before. I will make another statement. I will start painting in the next few days, and also I will start adding or 3D modeling. I just shown you 2 or maybe 3 new figurines for this season. It is time to start modeling some more figurines in my style. Not that exaggerated, not that spooky, not that gray, not that dark, but expect some surprises. So what else, guys? I forgot one thing to show you. Maybe you have watched it. I added along the circular plaza there a bench. I will show you more in detail next part 12. But this is exactly a circular or half circular bench, stone bench that I modeled already last week or 2 weeks ago and never shown you in its final configuration, but it is there, guys. It is around. Someone may have noticed it, but I also had a park bench, so expect some sitting people on that park bench, on that stone bench. Bench. Please don't forget to subscribe, comment, and give big thumbs up. Thank you for watching. Thank you for bearing my absolutely awful English, my cold, my voice, my nose, and see you next week for part 11. No, this is part 11 for part 12. Sorry again, guys. Bye.